Hello, champions. Coach Tina here. And boy, I am super excited to be sharing with you today. This is what I call a weekend workshop. And today I have 3 techniques for you for making progress, even if you're stuck. I hope this will be an amazing topic for you. If you are showing up live, go ahead and let me know that you're here. I love having the comments, and I'm using StreamYard. When you use StreamYard, I don't know who is coming in. I can see the comments, but not necessarily who is making the comment. Not a big deal. They have a link sometimes where that you can click it and you can register. And the good thing about that is when you do, all of your information will get saved. And the next time you're on StreamYard, it's not a big deal. If you choose not to do that, just as you type in a comment, put your name next to it so I know who you are. And it only has to be your first name. It just gives me a chance to communicate with you by name. So I prefer that. I hope you do too. The first 10 people who come on live can be in my dashboard here, and I can be looking at you and interacting with you. You don't have to be up on the screen, but it will be an interesting experience, right? So what we're going to do is get started. I have the PowerPoint queued, and I'm really excited because these 3 techniques for making progress are near and dear to my heart. And if you're someone who is stuck, I don't want that to be your story any longer. So let's get started, and I will add us into the PowerPoint here. All right. Now, let's do it this way. Perfect. All right. So ignore up at the top where it says Hyman Software. I created this very quickly on Canva. I really enjoy Canva, but I did it quickly was the key there, and I didn't go back and look at my work. So I completely apologize, and I wish that I had. So it's not going to distract from the content though, but I wanted to let you know that that was going on. And for those of you joining live, thank you so much for watching. So we're going to talk about the 3 techniques for making progress, even if you're stuck. And so my first question for you is, are you stuck? Let me get up here and move my PowerPoint. So it's going to have me go by pages that way. Maybe nope. So you know what this made me think of? It made me think of when you have a jar and you can't get it open. So like when you are stuck, are you really stuck, or do you just need that extra burst of energy to pry open the jar and then everything's easier, right? Like a lot of times I'll use my husband. I'll be like, hey, I need you to open this. And, like he makes it so easy for me and it frustrates me. Or sometimes it's like one of my kids and they'll struggle and then they'll hand it back to me. I can't do it. Boom, I can, right? There's something about that transfer of, can you help me, that creates the change, whether they're able to do it themselves, whether they're able to just push you along. And so today I'm acting as that person that's going to help you unscrew the lid on what it is that is keeping you stuck. Because the fact is, we all want to make progress, right? We all want to move forward. If you're like me and you have big dreams, it's frustrating when it feels like you are stuck in mud and you can't move forward. And I don't want that for anybody. So what we are going to do is talk today about 3 techniques that I have. And here's the deal. You may have tried all the normal things. I worked on not having them be things you've already heard about, because who hasn't heard about just brainstorm all the things you need to do and pick one? Or shoot, praying like, God, please give me the strength to go through this. I can't handle it. Or what do I need to do? Like there's so much on my plate, I can't handle it. Maybe you're more inclined to be into meditation. It sounds so zen, right? Like, I can do this. Or breath. I mean, breath is really super important. Almost all situations that are stressful can be relieved with a little bit of breath work, right? It's kind of like your air conditioner. It's mechanically sound and made to do a certain thing, right? But something as simple as that $5 filter can stop it from actually being able to do what it needs to do. And how crazy is it that just when we take that big, deep breath, when we're able to do that again, that system can work. And so sometimes we just need to do some big, deep breaths. I was listening to Joe Dispenza this week, and he has you breathe in love and breathe out limitations. Wow, right? In fact, he says statistically, if you do 10 minutes of positive emotion each day, now for me, that would be like Tony Robbins priming, getting all charged up and just having so much gratitude. Something that simple can change the cells in your body and heal you from within. That's something I'm pretty excited about. There are people who also say that just do anything, no matter how big or small. So like some people will say, take massive action, Tony Robbins. Or some people will say, you need to do Kaizen and just take the baby's littlest tiny step. And sometimes it's about movement. This morning I got up and I said, you know what? I need to head on over to take a walk, get myself in motion. Motion helps me to make progress. It activates something in my body. And I noticed that this header is the banner on here is kind of taking over that last bit. So let me show you a little bit, and we've covered all of them. But here's the thing. Those are the normal things to try. And if you're like me and you're super resourceful, you've read the books, you've listened to the mentors, and you've heard all the things. But there's more, and there's some ones I'm going to share with you. And I'm just saying, maybe you have heard these 3 things I'm going to share. If that's the truth, great. Then maybe there's a reason why you're hearing this today. So hang on and let's see what you know. Now, got to get through the next page. I'm sorry. I normally do presentations and this downloaded it as a PDF. So we're just taking it as it is. If you don't know me, I am Coach Tina, and I wanted to just let you know I am a certified ULA life coach. What does that even mean? It just means that I have a framework that works really, really well. I love to share it. It's what I build my life on. It's what I build most of my practices on. It's something that I can share with you later. So if you're interested, you could put ULA in the comments and let me know that that's of interest to you. That would be great. In fact, if you're on right now, go ahead and put #live in the comments, or go ahead and put replay if you're happening to watch this later. This is going to be up in the Empowering Champions group for about a week. I'll be taking it down before this on the 19th. So if you are watching this on the replay and want to let other people know about it, you can invite them into the group and just have the link there to share with them. I think this is going to be a really good event, and I really want you to know more about this. So let's go on. We'll move to the next 3 techniques for making progress. I'm going to share them now, but I'm kind of curious. What have you already tried? Go ahead and drop it in the comments if you have the stuff I've already talked about, or what guru has told you to do something. And here's the kicker. What has already worked for you? You know, I know you haven't been stuck your whole life. It probably just feels like right now is the biggest one because you're in it. But we all have stories of success. And if we can work on those stories, we will find that we can find the answers. So if you've ever made it out of the progress or the being stuck thing and had progress, what was it that worked for you? Share away so that we have this data and other people can see your response and be like, you know, this really was what worked well for me. And now, are you ready? I'm going to reveal the very first one. I'm super excited about it. And it is, don't do anything. Okay, I know that sounds super counterproductive, right? Like, what am I talking about? Well, the reality is, if you aren't making progress, there is a reason why. And you need to figure it out. But if you've tried all the things, then maybe you need like a brain vacation. You just need to take a time out. You need to give yourself permission to decompress so that something else can happen. Now, I don't mean do this forever. I don't mean like this is an endless, because you can just sit in front of the TV and Netflix forever, and that's not going to solve your progress problem. But just like Tony Robbins says, you can have negative emotions for like 9 seconds is what he prefers. But he also says you could start out with maybe 9 minutes, and then maybe you could do 9 hours. But you have to give yourself a timeline and control it. So I would say, if you really are not making progress, what if you went on a short mind vacation and you weren't allowed to work on the thing that you've been stuck in? You have to set the time limit. You've got to know when you're going to restart, but give yourself that, Now, the origin of this is kind of fun. I started this when I was a little girl. I would struggle to go to bed at night. And I needed to, like, even as I grew up and I went into school and into college and so on, I was like, what am I going to do? I have to get up early in the morning, but I am not tired at all. And I would use reverse psychology on myself. I would say, okay, Tina, if you can't sleep, you have to keep your eyes open and you can't blink. And I would lay in bed and I would hold my eyes open and I would force myself that you cannot blink. You know what? It always made me fall asleep. So I got this brainchild of, okay, if I'm not making progress and I need to, then maybe the number one thing I could do is don't do anything at all. Maybe it'll work for you. Maybe it won't. But if you've tried everything already, could you give this one a shot? So give me a number one if you think this would be an awesome thing to try. And if it's not, that's okay. Let's move on to the number 2 technique for making progress, even if you're totally stuck and you've tried everything and you're in that place of, what in the heck should I do? Now, this one, I wanted to come up with ones that you may or may not have heard of before. And this one I'm calling Tap It Out. Okay. Now, this is my last ditch resort that I do for people because it's so effective. Here's the crazy thing. It makes no sense, but it is something that I really have found relief with, as well as other people. Like when I recommend this to people, they always go, oh yeah, that worked. And yet sometimes it's hard to remember. So if you don't know what tapping is, there is a system called EFT. Emotional is the E, freedom, technique, EFT. And I have an amazing app that is free. It has lots of things in there that you can tap out: anxiety, depression, just when you're stuck, to how to have a better day. I mean, all these great things. So if that is of interest to you, you got to put app in there for me and I will get you the link because it is really useful. But the general premise is you start out, there's 8 points on your body that you tap, but you start out with what I call, do you ever know anybody that smoked and they would like tap their cigarette pack to, I don't even know what that is because I wasn't a smoker, but they would tap their cigarette pack. So I tap on the side of my hand, and this right here, what tapping does is it hits your meridian system. So your nerves and your electrons inside of your body. And I am not a Eastern medicine type person, but the general idea is it activates your nervous system. Okay. And so you tap on it. And here's the interesting thing. This is what they start with. They start with some statements where you unconditionally love yourself. Okay. So you start tapping and you say, we're going to go with, even though I'm not making progress on the thing that matters to me, I love and accept myself. Now, how crazy is that, right? And it doesn't matter how you tap. You can use your fingernails. You can go up and down your arm here. You can just do one finger. But basically, you're activating this karate chop area of your palm. Okay. How fun is that, right? You are tapping out the situation. And this tapping, it can be an incredible thing for you. So as you tap, then you say, I love and accept myself. Now, where this comes into play with our progress, and I'm not going to take you through the whole thing, although I could. When you put the app, I can send you a little video with the direct steps for how to tap. But what happens is before you get started, you pick a number between 0 and 10 of how uncomfortable you are with this situation. So you might say, I am stuck and not making progress. And on a scale from 0 to 10, I am at a 10. Like I am stuck. I am unable to move forward. And then if it's less than that, you would reduce your number. Well, what we have found is after you run through the tapping sequence, so you do this part on the karate chop for a couple of minutes, talking about loving yourself unconditionally. And the key to it is that you only do, you speak the truth. You are, no one's listening to you. It takes less than 5 minutes to run through the whole routine. Some of them are longer, but you can easily do this in a short amount of time. Sometimes I only do this part and I don't even run through that and I still get relief. But basically what you're doing is you're calling out the thing. Even though I sat on the couch all day and didn't do anything, I still love and accept myself. Even though I've been working on this problem for 20 years, I still love and accept myself. Even though nobody can tell that I have made a lick of a difference in the stuff that I did today, I still love and accept myself, right? Do you see where this is going? This is powerful. And the thing is, you are letting your body know that you understand. You're not hiding it from yourself. You are making this point of, oh my goodness, I get it. So if you are on right now learning about the 3 techniques for making progress, you are welcome to comment and let me know you are on board. And if you are interested in this particular app, hi Jennifer, so glad to have you on. If you are interested in the tapping app, just put in the comments the app, and then I will know that that is something that is of interest to you and you can run the process yourself. The cool thing is usually you start out at whatever your number is from 0 to 10. After you run through this sequence, which like I said, can take less than 5 minutes, most people will find that their number has gone down. And even if it's only gone down 1 or 2 digits, if you do it again, run through the sequence. And like I said, the app has so many different ones that you can try, but you usually will reduce your number multiple times. And I find that super beneficial. So again, if you've tried everything for making progress and you're not having results, these are my 3 techniques that might be beneficial to you that I said are probably not the tried and true ones that you have heard before. So we're going to switch to number 3. And number 3 is tell someone about what you're trying to do. So this one you may have heard before. Accountability partners come into play on this one for sure, right? When you tell someone else, magic happens because it activates within you this feeling of, I'm not alone anymore. And I have hopefully a trusted person that is working with me to have this end result that I want. I want to make progress. So what you want to do is tell someone else, I'm struggling to make progress. And here is what I'm planning to do about it. Here is the plan. And you know, you might have a plan for attack where you're like, okay, today I have to get X, Y, and Z done. So you tell a trusted friend. I love it. So when you are in this position, now you have to pick somebody that is going to work on your behalf. If you tell someone that you already know is a naysayer or someone who you often get negative results from, probably you're not picking the right person. I had a really good friend. I still have her. She is amazing, but we are like peas in a pod. And we used to laugh that we were twins born 20 years apart just because we have such a strong connection. But when she and I would tell each other what we were going to do on our progress plans, we didn't hold each other accountable. We were so alike that like at the end when she was like, I didn't really do anything today, I'd be like, yeah, I didn't either. And then we were like, okay, whatever. And we didn't hold each other accountable. So that's not a good plan either. We had some traction when we did this fun thing where we would tell each other what we accomplished in the morning, even though we hadn't done it yet. So it was like, today I'm going to have this really crazily amazing day. And here's the 3 things that I got done because it was such an awesome day. And we would do it that way. And then at the end of our day, we were like, yeah, that was actually worked. So you got to play brain tricks on yourself. You are so smart that you do that kind of stuff and it doesn't work. But sometimes you can play little tricks and games that activate your brain a different way and make it fun and exciting. So here's the deal. When you tell someone what you're going to do, think of it in the way of how can they benefit from what you're planning to do? And I mean this in the way of, let's say you're making dinner for your kids. Normally you say, I'm going to make dinner. And then 20 minutes or an hour later, you have dinner ready for them. So you set the expectation and then you produce the result. And I don't know about you, but I don't have a problem making dinner. I say I'm going to do it. I put everything together and I do it. In fact, a lot of times I don't even need a recipe. I just go at it. But when it comes to things like working on my website or sending out that email that I need to do or making my course, those things seem heavy and hard. And I'll say to my husband, I'm going to go write my course. And yet what he sees is that I don't produce. I don't give him that dinner. And I would never do that for him, right? Like when I say I'm going to make dinner, I make dinner. So he has an expectation about me. And when I don't come in with the goods at the end, he's kind of mystified. He's like, you said you were going to finish that thing. So you've got to pick somebody that gets you at the level of when you say, this is what I'm going to do, when you come back to them and show them the empty plate and you're like, well, I didn't really do that. They're going to be uncomfortable. They're going to be like, no, this is not the way that it needed to be. You said dinner and I expect it. So now we don't all have those treasured people in our lives. I wish we did, right? But if you have that person is gold. Hang on to them because they are the ones who are going to help you to make progress. So that's why, like in the Tony Robbins world, we like to say, you've got to find the 5 people in your inner circle that are who you want to gravitate to be, because those people will move you up. They will level up with you. You are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. So if you're allowing in your inner circle people who bring you down, that stress you out, that is not going to be beneficial. And I see we have Heather who has joined us. I'm so happy you're on, Heather. You are in what I call my dashboard. So you don't have to be on screen, but if you in the comments want to let me know that you would like to come and join at the end when we do Q&A, I would love to have you come on. And if you're wondering how to get to the link to come on, it should be in the events section of the Facebook group. I don't have it queued up in my, oh wait, nope, I don't have it still where I can get to it. So sorry about that. I didn't think about putting it in the comments before I started. But the third thing I wanted to say about the telling somebody else, and I found this one very, very valuable because it's about being responsible. So I have a mentor that I work with. People should work with mentors. It doesn't matter if you're a coach already, whatever you're doing, you should have a mentor who you look up to that is helping you with what it is you want to do. So I mentioned to my mentor that I was stuck and that every time I had talked to her or over the course of the last week, I had been saying, I'm stuck in this, I get stuck, blah, blah, blah. And she said, okay, Tina, I want you to write down and make a list of every time you get stuck this week. And I thought this was such a good strategy because what did she do? She put the responsibility on me. When she said, you make the list, I had to stop playing the tape in my brain, which said I was stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm so stuck, stuck, stuck. And instead, I had to take responsibility for what is really happening. Am I stuck or am I lazy? Am I procrastinating? Am I getting distracted? Am I not prioritizing this thing that I say I want to do, but something else sounds better? So when she said that to me and I had to make that list, it opened up my eyes because I wasn't really stuck. I was distracted. I was allowing other things to be more important than what it was that I was telling her I was stuck about. And here's the funny thing. Every time I started to get stuck, I would say, am I really stuck? Like, do I have to write this on the list? Because I don't really want to talk to her about this. And I would self-correct. I would make the change. And I found that so beneficial. And that's one of the reasons why I think that third technique is so important. So tell someone what you're planning to do. Tell the right person what you're planning to do and own the responsibility for what it is that you are wanting to do. Love that. And I love that it's something that can help you move along. So Jennifer, thank you for sharing that you think that makes sense. I think it does too. So here's the deal. I would love to talk with you guys about this more. And Heather, I don't see a comment from you. But if you would like to comment and let me know if you want to come on live, I would love to have your perspective on this. And for Jennifer, I don't know if I can get you up here, but if any of you would like to implement one or many of these ideas, go ahead and put #progress in the feed, and I can reach out to you in the future. Or if you would like to just chat about, how do I implement technique 1, 2, or 3? Number 1 was don't do anything and take that brain break. Number 2 was tapping it out, getting to the root of the problem and figuring out what it is that really is holding you back. And number 3 is telling someone else and really getting them to support you in making progress. Now, I'm a life coach that really cares about us making progress. Like, to me, that is the most important thing we can do is we set our goals, and then whether it's the baby steps or the huge massive action, whatever it is for you. I mean, I was a teacher for years and years, and what I learned in the classroom is that everyone is different. Everyone takes in the information differently. Everyone produces differently, and you can't cookie cut teaching or learning. And so what that means is that each of you is going to take this information with a different perspective. You're going to need to try something on or decide to do something differently, and that's perfect. But you need to work it out with somebody. So if you need a person in your life to talk about it, I am here, I am available. And Jen, I see you putting #progress on there. I will reach out. We know we'll talk soon, and we will be able to work one-on-one for sure. And other than that, I'm going to go ahead and end this class and let you know that I am always available and I'm ready to support you in whatever your style is, in support you in making progress, because I know how important it is to reach those goals. All right, I'm going to end the broadcast.